There's been a lot of pigeon shooting on the fields that I shoot lately, and this has made the crows incredibly wary. All the crows have stopped feeding on any of the fields that I shoot, but they are moving along down the valley to another farm. Having watched them for a while, they're still following a hedge line. So I'm going to attempt to try and pull some of the crows off this hedge line using decoys and a crow call. They're not feeding in this field, I'm just relying on being able to call them over. The field is in fact stubble, not grass as shown in the picture. The hide is tucked underneath a telegraph pole. Fortunately, the closest I can really get these decoys is about 35 yards. That's quite a distance for decoyed birds. Each time I spot a bird coming down the hedge line, I'm going to try and call it in. We're just going to see what happens. I've only got a couple of hours this morning, but hopefully we'll get one or two birds. Some of the equipment I'm going to be using today, as I do get asked this quite a bit, is my Winchester SXP Black Shadow, although I have painted it. And because these crows are going to be at some distance, I've opted for a Carlson full choke, just to give me a little bit extra reach and a tighter pattern at longer distances. And I still have some fob chalk 32 grams number 5 left over from last season, so I'm going to be using these mostly. I don't mind using number 6s or even slightly higher, but I've still got some of these left from last year. And the key to a successful shoot today really is going to be this Primus Power Crow call. It really can call the crows in. I'm clearly rusty as I've not been shooting for 8 months, but hopefully we're going to get into the swing of this. With an extended full choke, you either hit them or you miss them. That's better, now we've warmed up. Although we're shooting crows, there obviously is a few jackdaws and rooks. I'm just going to stick this rook on one of the homemade cradles that I've made. Once on the cradle, these really do look good, especially from a distance, and really do make a difference. I'm just going to set this one up on a cradle. All I'm going to do is put the long spike underneath its chin into its head. Make sure its feet go in the circle. It's about 6 to 8 inches off the ground. Make sure the feathers are flatted down, the wings are tucked in. These really do look good and they're very effective. Not a massive bag. We had 15 crows, we had a couple of jackdaws and 1 rook, and 2 bonus pigeons. This was only a couple of hours in the morning. If I'd have stayed all day, I probably would have got a few more. But overall, I think it's quite successful. And it also goes to show, if you have a few decoys and a good bit of calling, you can pull them off the flight line.